Hey Stitch Cuties, I'm Brittany, and in this tutorial we're going to use our embroidery machine to make our first block of our Hegendary Hedgies Block of the Month. This is Hope. She's so cute. She's holding a little snowflake. So before we get started on the tutorial, I want to show you a little bit about everything that comes in your first box. It's a lot. First off, you have a big old pile of fabrics that are really fun, and you'll notice you have a bunch of paper. So the first 3 pages in your pattern, this is your binder cover, a binder back cover, and then this right here you'll just trim or fold to size as the edge of your binder. The binder's not in the box. You just pick up an easy, like a little 1-inch or 1/2-inch binder from a local office store or on Amazon, to be honest, and you can keep track of all of your patterns every month as they come, because they are all going to come 3 hole punched. So in your first box, part of the beginning of the pattern is a whole bunch of information, just reminders. So you have a list of everything that's going to come in every box, reminder of how to get a hold of us, quick little FAQs, and then we have a list of our recommended notions. You don't have to have these exact notions, but they're really helpful, especially the 2 rulers that we recommend. And then we have a fabric key. This is only going to be in this first box, this fabric key, so make sure you keep it safe in your binder. This just helps you identify what fabrics are what every month when you're making your piece blocks, okay? Then you have your actual first pattern. Let me set that to the side. And in your first pattern, what you're going to do, first off, all of those fabrics that you get, you're going to want to starch them really well, and then you're going to do all of your cutting as it's instructed. Then you're going to come to this tutorial and you're going to make your applique block in the hoop. After that, you're going to grab your mini folded corner ruler, which is so awesome. It makes the little corner points really easy to do. And you're going to use that. We have a separate tutorial for how to use this simple folded corner ruler. You'll do that on all the blocks and also on your border blocks at the very end. Then you're going to have instructions for your pieced block. You're going to make half square triangles. Then you're going to make the little individual units of the, basically it's like 9 patches, right? So you're going to make all your half square triangles. You're going to have a bunch of extra half square triangles. So save those all up. And at the end of the year, you can make a couple project bags. You can put them all together into like a little quilt or a little table topper. So a lot of fun. They're super cute fabrics that you can mix in. And so after you make your half square triangles, then you're going to develop these little units of 1, 3, 7, and 9, and then you're going to sew it all together row by row. So we give you all the detailed instructions, okay? So let's get started. I want to point out how I label my applique pieces. So you also have your full-size placement guide, and then you have a page that has all of your reversed applique pieces behind that. So what I do is actually take my applique pieces that are in my kit, and I put them fabric down, right? Because this is the reverse. So you have the part you can write on up, and I put my piece in place, and with a Sharpie, I label my numbers. Now, a little trick that I do, if there's a piece that is somewhat directional, that's not like symmetrical, say this snowflake, these 2 pieces are great examples, I put it on here, or you can also put it on your placement guide. Why am I not even using my own arrow? And I write the number and I draw an arrow up. So when I go to put it on my stitched line that the embroidery machine is going to make for me, I've already figured this out. I don't have to think about it again. So that's a little trick for preparing your pieces. And then what I do is read through the embroidery instructions, and I organize off to the side. You can see I have little piles of my pieces in order of step, in order of appearance in the pattern. And then off to the side, I have my pretty threads all arranged in a nice little order. This block only has 4 colors in it. That's funny, or 5 colors because white's already on my machine. So I am going to turn to my instructions and get this hung up. I hang my pattern to this side for myself. You can put it however it's easy to read. And then your fabric, remember we starched it really nicely. So this is the background fabric. I believe it's 12 inches. What's it saying? Yes, 12 inches. And so what I do is fold it in half one way and then into quarters. So then you have your embroidery file on your machine. You have white thread loaded. And the first thing that your machine stitches is a little T right in the center. So you just take this. You can line it up at any of the intersections. And you unfold. And then, oh, well, my fingers aren't working today. There we go. And because I had so much starch, I do have a little crease right here. So before I tape this into place, I'm just going to iron that little bit of a crease out. There we go. And you can use to hold your fabric in place. Notice that the fabric's not hooped, it's just floating, right? You can use your Sew Tights. These are basically magnetic pins. They're super fun to use. Or you can use 3M transport tape. You can use anything you like, but these are my two favorites. You can see inside, it's called transport 3M tape. It's like medical tape. Back in the day in Julie's second life, she was an MRI tech and x-ray tech, and she used to always have a roll of this tape in her lab coat pocket. And so it's funny that we use this in sewing because I still associate this thread with, or this tape with my mom. So that's funny. She's the one that designed this quilt. So I've got that taped into place. I have my white thread. We are going to put our hoop on the machine, and the first step will stitch for you. Okay, so now you have your first applique outline stitch. I know it's probably hard to see my white thread, but you'll be able to see yours. Now I turn my hoop sideways simply for fitting in a camera view and for fitting on my Steady Buddy. You can of course keep yours facing yourself. So we are going to put our first piece in place, which is number 1. And to get the backing off, just put it fabric up and simply just like bend down on a piece, and you see it just releases right away, and you just peel it off. I like to have a cute little trash can by my embroidery machine. It's just a little glass heart. I think it's nice to have a cute little trash can. At my home, at my sewing station at home, I have a cute like little mini trash can with a revolving lid. It's super cute. Enough about trash cans. Let's talk hedgies. So to put your piece in place, you're going to start laying it in place. And you don't need to push or pull or try and distort the piece at all. It's going to be an absolutely perfect fit. And so once it's laying in place, what I'm going to do is just give a little tap where it's in place down here. Let's get it just right. There we go. And I'm going to give a little tap down here. And then I'm going to go over here and tap it in to place. There we go. I'm just going to start working my way up, and then I'm going to do a little tap in the middle. I just kind of work my way around. You can go all the way around, but I think it's easy just to sort of like stop and look at the piece. You know what I mean? There we go. And so now that I've got like this tap down and this tap down, this is going to be perfectly laying in place. There we go. And we're just going to do the same over here, work our way up. Basically, any kind of piece where you have like a ton of little points, you just want to make sure they stay in place as you go around. There we go. And while it's still hot, if you get anything in the wrong spot and you see it, you saw how I just took my finger and just wiggled it a little. So there we go. That's totally ironed in place. Right now, I always think this looks like a hilarious wig. But let's keep going with our steps and we'll build it into a hedgie. Okay, so on this step, we have 2 pieces that's stitched. And those are our ears, pieces 2 and 3. So just remove your backing. And the bottom edge of this piece lines up perfectly with the bottom of your little hedgie body. There we go. And now this little piece in place. And so essentially what we're doing is just building our applique layers in the hoop of our machine. So there we go. Let's put this back on and continue to the next step. Okay, so now we're ready to put on 3 different pieces, that being pieces 3 and 5, the inner ears. And then we're gonna put on the little hedgie belly. And let's talk about that. You'll notice that you have 2 pieces of the hedgie belly. And that is because we wanna double line the belly so that you don't see this colorful print through the belly, right? So you have one piece that's solid white and one piece that's that little print. It's a B cross stitch. And so you're gonna put the solid piece, the solid white piece down first, and then we will iron the printed piece over it. So grab your white one. How perfectly lasered that is. Love it. And just peel your backing. And we're gonna put this little guy in place right here. You can see through it right now, right? So if that was on your quilt, you wouldn't be super pleased, I don't think. So just make sure this little guy is lined up all the way around. And let's go. And I'm picking it up. I'm not pulling it. So I'm pressing, I guess I should say. And once I get it like pressed, so now it's like secured, then you can drag it. You just don't want to pull your piece while it's not in place yet. There we go. And now we're just going to put our second piece right on top, our little printed piece. And you will see how like now you can see the brown in just a second. Ta-da! And you'll see the print. Ta-da! It's gone. So double lining it makes it really nice. An extra little touch to your quilt, if you will. There we go. So we're just gonna press, and you can see it doesn't take very long for this to press on. Only a few seconds. All right, and now really press them in. Hedgie belly. Okay, so let's continue on to our next step. Alrighty, on this step, we are going to give our little Hedgie start working on her face, and we're gonna put the bottom layer of our snowflake down. So first up is our little nose. It's pink, so cute. I believe this is either coral or peony. I think it's peony. Such a cute color. And you just wanna make sure your little nose is in place. If you want, a tool that's helpful is the Alex Anderson 4-in-1 Essential Tool, because you can use a little wooden tip or the little stylus on a little piece if you want to get it in place. I feel good about the placement of mine. Again, while it's still hot, if it's not where you want it, you can wiggle it a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. Then we have our two little rosy cheeks. These are just like the cutest. I absolutely go bonkers for this quilt. I love it. And this Hegendary Hedgies version, this is our second version of it. With it's a new colorway and new fabric, and oh my gosh, I love the quilt before. I think I love it even more now, which I didn't think was possible. And then we have our snowflake. A reminder, I gave myself a little arrow up, right? So I know that up is this way, so I'm gonna simply go like this, hold it over where it's gonna go, and then peel my backing off. And then look at that, I don't have to do that whole like spinning it around of where does it go. I already did that. Because you do have to. When it comes in your box, you got to figure out the direction. So once it's good and in place everywhere, I feel good about that. We're going to give it a press. Press, press, press. There we go. And now that it's in place, I'll do a little bit of extra heat there. And let me just wiggle it a little right there. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the next step on the machine, and I will warn you, it's probably the longest stitching because it's gonna give you the full outline of this snowflake, and that's because we wanted to make sure you had it perfectly in place because it's not a symmetrical snowflake. So sit tight while your machine stitches. Alrighty, take a look. You got a lot of snowflake lines stitched out. So we're gonna do the same thing like we did for the aqua background. We're going to take a look at our little arrow, turn it the right direction, and then I'm gonna remove the backing. And we're just going to put it in place. Now on this one, take a few seconds and really make sure that you have all of these lines lined up because every single line is gonna be stitched. So you wanna be in the right spot. All the cute little buttonhole stitches that are gonna be in the center of your snowflake. And we're gonna go around, give it a little tap. And once it's in place, then you can really give it a good little press. How cute is this? I love it. So we have one more step of applique outlines because our Hedgie needs little hands. Okay, let's put our little hands on. So we have piece number 12, the left hand, and the edge of the hand lines up perfectly with the edge of the body. It doesn't go past it or up to it. It's like exactly on it. So there we go. And same thing on this side. I'm actually gonna turn my hoop for myself so I can more easily see this edge. It just makes it easier to be closer to my eyes. I'm getting older, everybody. My vision's not the same. There we go. So this is what your little guy or your little lady, this is Hope, what she should look like right now. So we're gonna put her back on. We're gonna now instead of me taking my hoop on and off to talk about the thread color changes, we're gonna have the machine do all of the stitching for us, and then we'll regroup at the end where we take a look at how it should look, and I'll give you some tips on moving forward into the pattern. But right now, where we are is to this table. So you're just gonna simply follow the color order listed on this table, and it's gonna match exactly with what's on your machine, and you're gonna do your thread color changes as you go through the steps, okay? So we'll be back with our hedgie fully stitched in just a second. Alrighty, let's take a look from top to bottom at our cute little hedgie, all stitched out. I absolutely love it. It looks so good. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take her out of the hoop, and let's talk real quick about your next steps. You are going to use your placement guide, and you're gonna obviously remove all of your stabilizer and tear that all away. And you will use your placement guide. You have a little line at the top and the bottom that's gonna help you line this up. And I recommend using your 10.5 inch trim it ruler to help as well. A little trick that I do with my ruler, I'll show you. I put my ruler on my placement guide, and then I take a little piece of this tape and I'll mark like a couple little spots. Like I'll mark the bottom and the edge and the edge. And then that way I can put my little marked ruler right on top of this and trim it. That's just a little trimming tip. So then after that, you'll go to your pattern and you are going to do your simple folded corner ruler, and you're gonna put the cute little aqua print corners on all 4 corners of your hedgie. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out, and we're happy to help answer any questions you have. So happy stitching.